Music is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Isn't it just awesome finding a band and instantly putting some of their songs on your playlist? Now, I'm not a big playlist guy, but whenever there's a band that has some great tunes and I'm like, damn, I have to remember this, then, put it in the playlist. What music have you guys been listening to? Because here's some bands that I've really fallen in love with recently. Before we get into the video, please like and subscribe. That would help me out a bunch. And if you want to click that bell notification, you'll get alerted whenever I post a new video. So you'll be up to date with my music analysis, I guess. Dumb toes. This is going to be a really chill video. I'm pretty much going to give you guys a vibe check about all these bands that I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to talk about the music, have fun. Basically, that's it. But for real, if you really want to, and I would appreciate if you let me know what you've been listening to in the comments down below. I try to find music or new music all the time, so if you guys help me out, that would be very much appreciated, and I'll probably talk about them in a video, TikTok, Instagram reel, whatever. So yeah, let's keep the music alive and let's spread the word, man. Let's not gatekeep. I'm here to talk about music that a lot of people would gatekeep, but no, I'm not that type of guy. Enough of that though. Here are some bands that I've really been listening to and fallen in love with recently. Now, the first band on my list is Silk, and I've talked about this band before, so I'm not going to go into crazy detail. What I will say though is this band is very exciting in terms of everything really. The energy that they have is on full display on any song really, and that's what I really enjoy about this band. This band steps into that new metal shoegaze type of world, and I will say that this sound overall has been going crazy all over in terms of up and coming bands. But Silk, I'm very glad I stumbled upon them because they're one of the better sounding bands in terms of production, in terms of instrumentals, songwriting, everything. And I'm just like, wow. I was surprised to see that this band didn't have that many streams, but if you can go stream them after watching this video, that would be dope-isms. And yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got to say about Silk because I've rambled on about them quite a lot recently. But this is my video, so I get to do what I want to do. Isn't that crazy? The next band on my list I'm very excited to talk about because I found this band in a 1995 Pavement fanzine. And yeah, man, this band is called Motorhome. Let me show you guys the magazine because you guys might think I'm lying, but I'm not. Let me pick this bad boy up real quick. Look at that. Wonderful. Look at the colorization on that. It's pretty plain, but it's still effective, if you know what I mean. Now, I have a bunch of magazines, and that's my first zine, you know what I'm saying, type of thing going on in my collection. And it is my favorite magazine, zine, whatever, in my collection, without a doubt. And it has hum in it, and that's probably why. And I know I'm not talking about Motorhome yet, but I found Motorhome within this magazine. And when I looked them up, I was like, wow, this band has 9 monthly listeners. I was like, are you joking? I was like, let me just listen to this music. I listened to it. Are you flippin' freaking kidding me? This band is fantastic. It has that indie rock sound, but they remind me a lot of Galaxy 500. And if you guys don't know, I love Galaxy 500 just like a bunch of people do. And one of the things about Galaxy 500 and Motorhome is they share that same quality where things sound very sad, but to me, my interpretation or my ears feel like it's more of a positive, sad sounding noise. And honestly, even nowadays, you don't really find any Galaxy 500 sounding bands. And this band is obviously from the 90s, so that's not a modern band, but I still want to talk about them because they're that fantastic. And I don't know if they're an influence on Motorhome. I don't know if Galaxy 500 is an influence, but if they are, that would make a bunch of sense because there's some very cool similarities in there, and they just give me that feeling within my heart. And I'm just like, I wish every band can do this, but Motorhome just blew me away. And if you guys can listen to them, that would be dope because they have literally not that many monthly listeners. And for the people that watch me and are older than me, I'm 22. If you were around in the 90s, did you guys ever hear about Motorhome? Was that ever a band you would see on flyers and stuff like that? Because this is my first instance of ever hearing about this band. And how were they live? I haven't done any research, haven't seen any clips on YouTube yet. So also, before I stop talking about Motorhome, if you guys want to watch me talk about this magazine, let me know. I'm down to do that. Oh my God, I can't hold it. Yeah, I'm down to do that whenever because I don't know, it's just fun to do stuff like that. Or if you guys want to see me read another magazine, I just purchased this Smashing Pumpkins Rip magazine. And look at the colorization on that bad boy. Look how amazing everybody looks. Fantastic, isn't it? Also, I know a lot of people, or at least on my channel, don't really watch those videos as much as the rest of my videos, but I still find it fun, and it's just reading at the end of the day. Let's move on to the next band, and this band is very popular in terms of TikTok and everywhere really in this emo screamo world. I'm talking about the band Versus Self. And I did hear Versus Self on TikTok a while ago, but I don't know, I guess I didn't really think too much of it. I didn't really dive deep into their discography like I should have. And the song that I heard was really fantastic. And every song that they would put on TikTok, I feel like would blow up. And yeah, a lot of kids would use it, a lot of people my age. And Versus Self just has that energy, has that emotion that you would want within a band. You see with a lot of bands coming out, there's a bunch of screamo bands, and some of them kind of fall short in terms of giving you that emotion. Sometimes it feels a little bit forced. Sometimes it just doesn't feel, I don't know, not genuine, if you know what I'm talking about. When I started listening to them, I was like, man, there's a lot going on, but I feel a sense of just realness, and Versus Self is not fake at all from what I can hear and tell. I've talked about a lot of screamo bands and shoegaze bands, and I've been wanting to make a video, just both of those genres or subgenres, entitling it, Everybody Wants to Be in a Screamo or Shoegaze Band, and then not talking trash about it, but just listing a bunch of bands in those different categories. And I thought that would be fun. Let me know if you would be interested in that. I know I would. I'll probably post it in a couple days. But yeah, man, Versus Self, I feel like there's not so much to say. I feel like a bunch of people that are watching this channel already know about Versus Self. Sticking to the screamo emo world, or realm, I should say, I'm going to talk about the band Gallium, and I feel like that's how you pronounce it. I've said it before. I don't know if I mentioned them on YouTube yet. I feel like I've talked about it on TikTok. And what I really appreciate about this band is that they have their foot on the gas pedal all the damn time, and they don't seem to slow down at all. And that's not something you see all the time or hear all the time with up and coming screamo emo bands. It just seems like this band is very rabid and just aggressive to the core. And there's something in that, man. There's a beauty in that, I should say. And not a lot of people are like that. Not a lot of people want to be abrasive too much. Sometimes you want to show that sensitive side, but this band is very energetic, in your face, and exciting. So if you're looking for that very aggressive screamo stuff, this band is so up your alley, and they're up my alley as well. I feel like I'm not saying that sentence or phrase right. That seems to be a common theme with myself. I don't really know all these phrases for some reason, yet I still utter them. Shout out Gallium, and they did a split EP or single with One Way Mirror, another great band, and you should listen to that because there's so many creative juices within that EP/single, whatever, and it's just great to see, man. Energetic humans colliding. I love it. Shout out Gallium and One Way Mirror. And the last band on my list, I've talked about a bunch as well, and they seem to have exploded over the past month and a half, I want to say. I'm talking about the band Split Chain. And like the band Silk, heavy on the new metal shoegaze, they're stepping on that button, they're riding that wave, and they seem to just go crazy in every aspect in terms of their representation, the way they look so badass. They're from the UK, which is cool. And yeah, man, if I'm ever in the UK, that would be dope, and I would interview them for sure. If I ever had that opportunity, I would definitely go see Split Chain and try to interview them. And you can say that they're riding this wave, like I just said, they're riding this new metal, new gaze, grunge gaze, as well as it is also being coined as. But I don't know, man, there's just a lot of bad bands doing this noise, and Split Chain is not one of those bands. They kind of just, like I said, excel, and they just seem better than most bands, even in the States. And I know you can be a good band outside of the States. So that statement was kind of stupid, but you know what I'm trying to say as well. Now, maybe I shouldn't go crazy with the detailization because you should honestly just listen to their songs. There's not a lot out, but that doesn't really matter. If there's bangers in their catalog, then you got to listen to the bangers, obviously, and eventually they'll release an album. Eventually they'll have a bunch of albums. So just enjoy the energy, enjoy the band while we still can. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it with Split Chain, and I think that's pretty much it with all these bands, man. All these bands excite me in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different sounds going on, a lot of variety, and I know I say this all the time, but I don't know, I just get excited whenever there's different flavors. Not a lot of people do the same stuff. Some people ride a wave, but some people just create their own thing, and they just continue to go crazy with it, and that's the exciting thing for me. You can really distinguish and separate the people who are trying to do it just because it's like a phase or whatever, and then you can find the people that are doing it from the genuine place in their hearts. And yeah, man, all these bands are genuine. I love every one of these bands. I've been bumping these bands like crazy. I've been bumping Split Chain while I'm going to freaking thrifting with Alexa. And yeah, man, that's all I'd be listening to over there. So yeah, shout out all these bands. The sun is going down for some reason. It is like 2:56 p.m. Don't forget to let me know what you guys are listening to. Please recommend me a band. I want to listen to more music. I also want to do like reactions to music. I feel like that would be very fun, and you guys would get like a genuine reaction from me. I don't know. New things. I need to do new things. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Keep the music alive. These were bands I've fallen in love with recently. What a great vibe.